Well, we've got a bullish pattern that's been forming on the larger time frames that may be a sign that we've reached a local bottom, and we may be looking for a rally up to about the 24K area. Now, we are headed back into a weekend where trading could just go sideways, or we could see a lot of volatility. So today we're going to take a closer look at the landmarks that we need to keep our eyes on over the next few days and what could possibly happen as this pattern possibly plays out. It's looking good, but not without caution. Road Dog Crypto. Welcome back to Road Dog Crypto. My name is Lane, and I'll be your guide today as we take a closer look at Bitcoin to try to figure out what is going on. We have got a huge Adam and Eve formation that is formed on our larger time frames, looking here on the daily. These are typical bottom patterns, which could mean we found a local bottom. I'm not quite convinced that this is the bottom for this bear cycle, but it looks like it may be one for a little while, as what appears that we may be getting ready for a rally up to at least 24K, possibly even higher. Now, as we zoom out, still on the daily chart here, we can see why this is so important. You can see that overall, we are in a falling wedge pattern on Bitcoin, which is extremely bullish if we can get back into it and break out. This double bottom that we're looking at now, this Adam and Eve double bottom, if it will take us up to its measured move at around 24,000, it would break us back into this, possibly get a little retest from that and some sideways movement. But that could be the break that we need to eventually come on back up, break out of this triangle, and start making our move back to the upside. We definitely want to keep our eye on this. And we're going to take a closer look at this now on some of the smaller time frames. But first, let's look at the indicators for the daily. Now, our MACD on the daily is showing strength. We did get a bullish cross there headed to the upside. We can see that the MACD wave right here is starting to go to the upside as well. So in the foreseeable future, this should still be headed up for a little while. And now we can take a closer look at the RSI, stochastic RSI on Market Cipher. However, the stochastics are famous for getting stuck at these tops, kind of like what it did right here, as price can continue moving up. So keep your eyes on the stochastics, especially on the lower term time frames. If you are trading or looking for an entry point, you want to find it when the stochastics are at the bottom level down here toward 20 or 0. Now the RSI is edging up. We are looking bullish here. So on the daily, we've got good signs that we are headed up. That is strong. Now we need to take a look at the closer time frames to see how it may trip us up a little bit over the next day or two. Now here we are on the 4 hour, and even as I'm making this video, it is starting to come up. And what we want to see is for it to come up to this level right here, this 21,700 area. What we must see happen to remain bullish on this is for it to break that and hold that as support. With the stochastics being so high and the RSI being so high on the 4 hour, it's already at 70%. Meaning that we are getting toward overbought territory here. So we may get a rejection before breaking out of this range around 21,865. So we've got to maintain above 21,900. And if we can hold up around 22,000, we know that we're in good shape to possibly continue heading back up to this trend line of about 23,000. And once we break back into here at 23,000 and above, it could get bullish very quickly. We could see a sharp rise up. And the reason I say that is that Bitcoin historically, when it breaks out of a zone, out of a pattern and comes back in and does a retest, it usually starts shooting up really fast and either breaking out of the pattern completely and retesting or getting rejected at the top. But we could realistically see a quicker move up to 28,000 over this next coming week if this momentum continues. But the smaller time frames like the 4 hour is telling us that we do need a little bit of a break to actually complete that move. So this may take place over the weekend. We'll have to wait and see. Now, for those of you interested, I did take a measured move, and I do have the one by Thomas Bukowski that should break out from right here. And that's where I've got my measured move target of 24,000. If you want to take the traditional measured move for this pattern, it would be from the neckline or the top right here down to the bottom. And then we place that on the top. And the traditional measure move is giving us a price target right around 25,000. Now we can also play this as a channel, and I've got the channel drawn here on the daily. And if you take the measure move from this channel and apply it to the breakout, we can see that we come roughly right to the same area, around 23,790 by that measured move. This is initially the pattern that I was using because it's a great way to start out with. And then you see patterns form within it and without it. And that's where this Adam and Eve double bottom came into play. And we have broken out of that channel there. You might also see this as being more of a symmetrical triangle, which it is also broken out there. And if we were to take a measure and move from that triangle and put it there, that also puts us just a little bit above our target for the Adam and Eve. It puts us about 25,600. So all of our patterns have been broken out, and we are getting a move to the upside, which is bullish. However, we still have not made it through this Ichimoku on the daily, but things are looking good, I must say, on the 4-hour, as we've got some green over here. So be cautious of possible retest. And even with this trend line right here, we could expect to come back to around 2,350 in that area and still get a bounce up. And of course, that's always a good reason to pull your fib from the peak here down to the bottom. And we can see we got our 618 here at 2,599. So basically 2,600. Now the Fibonacci is telling us that we should come back here and catch a bounce. Keep these zones and these areas in mind. We are likely to get a bounce. And even if we do break out of this pattern and come up, this pattern has a 67% chance of coming back down for a retest. So if we do get a break up, it's a good idea to take some profits wherever we may go, and then come back in on the trade when we come back down to about 21,900 in that area for a retest. It's also a good idea to take a look at the dollar on the DXY. You can see that our cup and handle pattern here broke out beautifully, and we are quickly approaching that measured move about 108 and getting really close to 107. Things are looking strong for the dollar, and it's kind of weird that Bitcoin is going up again at the same time that the dollar has. Now that's something to watch. When I backtest this, I can see that that only lasts for maybe 2 to 3 days before Bitcoin takes a dump if the dollar keeps going up. So what we can hope for here is that the dollar gets a retracement back down to these lower levels, at least for a little while, to give Bitcoin a little chance to breathe. So do keep your eye on the dollar. If it does continue to go up, it's going to affect everything, including Bitcoin. And now we're looking at this on the daily at a small section, but I want to remind you that the dollar is on a very much bigger pattern. If we zoom out to the 3-day, yeah, we're doing some big things here. And over time, I do expect to see it continue up. Just be cautious of this and keep that in the back of your mind. And one final look here at Bitcoin dominance on, let's look at it on the daily, had it on the 3-daily there. Looking like we're going to retest this trend line here. Too early to tell whether we break up. If we break up, altcoins are going to suffer. If we get rejected off of this and start going back down, which is a possibility, we do have some red there on the Ichimoku, altcoins may have a chance to fly. So before you get into altcoins, take a look at Bitcoin dominance. Make sure that it is not on the rise. Also take a look at total 2 and see what's going on there. You want to see this rising up as well before you start jumping into some altcoin trades. Now it does look like it also has an Adam and Eve double bottom with it to keep your eye on. Altcoins may be getting ready to take a leg up as well. And if you guys would like to see more altcoin videos, list those altcoins in the comments and I'll take a look at them for you. If you're interested in catching me live streaming and going over charts with you, teaching you technical analysis on the live stream, answering your questions one-on-one, leave some comments for me. Tell me if that's something you're interested in. That'd be something I'm stoked to do. Guys, this is what I got on short video. Just to give you a heads up. Stay calm, stay on top of your emotions, be blessed, be positive, and remember, you have got this. And you can do it. Road Dog Crypto.